Now I am in my Amazon AWS console. So first of all, we need some kind of place where we can keep our input files and our output files and the jar which we want to run. So for that, Amazon provides S3 as a storage as a service in which is under S3. So I'm just finding that service S3. Just click on it, and once you click on it, you have to create a bucket. Bucket is nothing but a container where you keep your data. I will just create one bucket. Bucket is nothing you can consider as an hard disk where you can store your data. So I will just create one bucket for this demo itself. So I will name it as an map reduce demo, and just go with all the default settings. I will just create so it's map reduce demo 2, and just keep on going with the default settings, and it will take some time and the bucket will get created. Now in this bucket, I just went inside, and now I will upload the required input files and jar. So I will first add the jar. So just add jar, and I already kept my jar here in the desktop, and it is with the name of final try. So it might take some time. So let it get uploaded, and we also need to create the input folder where we will keep our input files which on which we want to run this MapReduce job. So I will just create a folder name input and keep everything as it is. So let's yeah, so this folder is created. Now I will go inside this folder and I will upload my input file. So I will be using this sample XML. I'm using the sample XML which has a which has the input data on which I want to run this job on. So I will just say upload, and it will take some. Yeah, it's there. Let's see what is the status of our jar. So it's still uploading. So while it uploads, let's do the other needed thing. So now I want to generate a security key value pair in EC2 thing. So what I did is I just searched here EC2. So I just search here EC2, and it will show you. So just click on it, and I will keep that S3 tab open because I have to see whether the jar is uploaded or not. So just keep the tab open, and now I'm in this EC2 tab. So in this go to the side panel and go in the security, go inside the network security, and then click on this key in the old key. So it has nothing to do with this. So now I will create a new key, and I will name it as a demo map use key. You can give it any sensible name. It will generate the key, and it will have this download. You can use it later. So I will just download it. Now this key is generated. Now let's see what is the status of our jar. It's still uploading. So I will pause the video here, and maybe yeah, I can configure the EMR cluster then. So just so I will just go to the service, and I will select EMR. Just open this, and here you have to create a cluster. So click on create cluster. You can give any name. So I will have my cluster demo Okay, and then you have to select your bucket S3 like storage where you so I will just choose this bucket which we created MapReduce demo 2, and then you have to decide what kind of cluster, like what kind of Hadoop and all those versions. So I will select this because so I will select this one because the jar which I created internally uses the library of this Hadoop version. So I will go with this and let everything be the default configuration. So yeah, here you have to provide the EC2 key pair, that is the key pair which we generated. So here it is showing that key pair. So we needed it here. That's why we generated earlier. So just do it. And so it has one bug, I don't know. So usually the cluster creation is successful when you do it via advanced option. So I'm just going via advanced option, and yeah, so it gives pretty much all the details, and let's just scroll through it. I will tell whenever we need to do any action. So no need to do anything here. It's, yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, so here I will do the custom. So this is the thing. If you do the custom and then this roles get populated, then this cluster works. Otherwise, it fails. I don't know, like with my past experience. So these are the default roles that this cluster needs to run, and so we have all these default roles and just hit create cluster. So now it is in provisioning thing. It might take some time for it to change from provision to running, and once it's running we can configure our job here. And let's wait for it to get provision. Until then I will pause our video. So now you can see here that those cluster which we created is running. So it's now we can run our job here. So just click on this tab and click on this add step, and I will keep this step name as custom jar, and name whatever you feel like. You can give here the name. I'm keeping it the default name, and then you have to select the location where your jar is there. So we kept jar in this MapReduce demo 2 bucket. So you can see here our jar is lying, and I will just copy paste this path because I will need this path in a command in arguments. So I'm just copy pasting it, and just you select. So now you have jar position. Now you here you have to pass your command line arguments, and my first argument was name of the name of main class where the main method is there. So I'm just giving that name, and then my second argument was nothing but the path where the input files are there. So in our case it's there in the S3 bucket inside the input folder. So I just copy pasted the path on this, and so this is the path of our S3 bucket where our input files are lying. And the third argument is the folder where we want this job to place the output. So I'm just creating this. I'm seeing the output which will be there in this bucket. So make sure that this folder does not exist already. So the job has to create this folder. If it already exists, it will the job will throw an error. So yeah, that's done. So let's just you have to click the head, and it will start running this cluster, and it will run that job. So just to make sure, I will go through the S3 bucket and see whether everything is there in the place or not. So yeah, we have input folder. In the input folder we have a sample.xml on which we want to run our job. So in that way we are good. And yeah, so jar is also there. So we have everything in place. So now I think we can just run this. So we'll just run this. So yeah, it might take some time. So the status has changed to completed. Once it's completed, we can see our output in the S3 bucket inside the output folder. So yeah, let it get let it get provisioned. So so I will show you like where actually this cluster is running on what system. So if you just click on the services and you go to EC2 thing, so here you can see there are 6 instances. If I click on it, so you see this, these are the 3 instances. So these are the nothing but the instances created by our cluster. So because of which we needed to generate the key value pair and provide it to EMR so that it has an authorization to create this instances to run those jobs. So these are the instances which will actually execute our job. So let's wait for it to get completed. Till that I will pause the video. So now we can see that this cluster has started because it's changed to running. So now we are good to now we are good to, I think, yeah. So previously we are waiting for it to get completed. So let's see in the steps. So we can see that now it's completed. So if you we can just take a look at the logs also. So if I see the logs, it's exited with the exit code 0. That means it's successful. We can also check the system logs, and so it seems everything went properly because map and reduce both are 100% and job is completed successfully. So let's check the S3 bucket whether it generated the output folder or not. So yeah, it's here. So I think we have the output folder, and these are the various files which are job generated as an output. So let's click on any one of them and see what's there inside. So I will just open it. It came to downloading, and I will open this using Sublime. So so now in the output you can see that you can see this is how it generated the output with the author with the most co-authors. So in our sample, so this is our sample XML, which is not this is our sample XML. So I kept it small only because otherwise it will take a lot of time. So this is our sample XML, and according to the sample XML, it has generated this kind of small output. So most the author with most co-authors. So these are the two authors, the author with the least co-authors, and according to how what your jobs needs to do, it will produce the output. Uh, so this is pretty much about running your job, but so once your jobs are done and you got your needed output, you have to also close whatever services you started, because otherwise you will get charged for it. So now I'm done with this cluster, so I should ideally terminate this cluster. So I will just hit here the terminate button, and you have to you have to disable this protection policy so that you can terminate it. I'll just hit the terminate, and now this should there should not be any of this thing running. So yeah, so this cluster is terminated. Now you can see here, so it's terminating. So once it's get termination is properly happens, it will change to like this. And now let's check our EC2 instances also, which this job is started, whether they are terminating or not. So I will just click on these instances, and so they are still running. So so this you can see that they are still running. So this will get in the termination state once this cluster gets terminated successfully. So yeah, so you have to do this termination part, and you have to also remove the whatever is there in your bucket, otherwise you will get charged for that storage. So I will remove all this, just select one by one, because you can't have a multiple delete, and do an action, and then say like select this delete thing, and then it will delete. So you have to make sure that your bucket is clear, otherwise you will get charged. So yeah, that's pretty much